Breaking news. We have a new milkshake out in Chicago. This is ABA Podcast coming in hot, where 2/3 of the people in this podcast are not wearing a hat to hide their balding.
I'm the third, right here. Balding like most Americans.
On to the MLB. We've been talking baseball, hinting at it for so long, avoiding it like our ex-girlfriend and the plague, somewhere in between that metric. Standing at the top of the bell curve, we are here to deliver anything but average content. Take us away, Iceman.
Yeah, I mean, the ex-girlfriend analogy is pretty much perfect because I just think of her as Shohei Ohtani on the Dodgers, and this sucks. It already
Great
sucks.
bet.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Bet the
Underwhelming?
Dodgers. Yeah.
I was once
They're
told
gonna-
life is like a box of chocolates, overpriced and underwhelming.
It's a very good analogy. But yeah, I mean, we've been avoiding baseball. Why? Because it seems kind of chalked this year. There's a lot of excitement if the Dodgers weren't the world's greatest super team ever assembled.
Well, I mean,
and
all of baseball comes down to the money you spend, right? And we watched literally one team spend $1 billion in free agency and find a way to contractually just fucking change the game with the way it's played. You look at Shohei's contract and you see, the next 10 years he's only making $2 million a year, and then after that it's $68 million a year for 10 years. Is that tax evasion? Is that gambling issues? What is it? We don't know. We'll find that out in 10 years when it happens. But the Dodgers managed to find a way to spend $1 billion to build a super team, and fuck, is that lineup stacked? I don't even want to focus on them. I really don't.
I feel like this was enough.
If you guys don't know the Dodgers by now, with how much media they're getting, are you a fan of the game? Are you a fan of baseball? Do you have a baseball team that you're a fan of? Has anybody compared your team to the Dodgers lately? If not, I don't know what the fuck to tell you.
I wake up every day and I think to myself, as a Giants fan, we have a chance. And I really do believe that.
Here's a crazy thing about baseball. The crazy thing about baseball is if you make the postseason, you technically have a chance, right? Like, it's one of those games where the Dodgers strike out in the postseason more often than not. They tend to have that first round exit. They choke you, whatever you want to call it. But we've seen it the last few years where really, really good teams just choke to a team that barely made a wild card.
And what's so crazy about it, though, it's like you have when you peak, right? Like last year, a couple months in, we're thinking, oh, this team's destined for greatness. I think the Marlins were super hot. They were like unbeatable coming out the gates. The Rays were incredible.
The Rays came out of the gates.
The Rays were really
17-0 or something like that.
No, exactly. But where were they come the postseason, right? So it's like, do you want to come out the gates hot and peak? Because as we stand today, there's probably 160 games left for most of our teams. And when I say our teams, your team, etc., right? And that's the thing. We have to let the games play out. The Yankees, for instance, right? Talking 3 weeks ago, it's like, man, this team's pretty scary, right? They had a pitcher. They're looking really good. Rotational issues and some other things, right, that were clearly glaring. But as it stands today, DJ LeMahieu goes down. Garrett Cole's on a 60-day IR. They trade for a right-handed pitcher with a 5 ERA. They trade for, a backup third baseman that's 34 years old. It's like
let
they
Michael
are in
King walk this offseason,
panic mode, right? But it's like,
no, they traded Michael King.
I'm not entirely sure on that. I think the plan was for LeMahieu. They're always, for them, it's the Yankees. It's transactional. It's just business. It's like plug and play. We're going to spend the money. It doesn't matter. I mean, prior to Shohei getting the contract, what was it? Aaron Judge's ridiculous, massive contract.
How's that working out for him too?
And that's the thing. So it's like you see where it's allegedly just going to work out for the Dodgers, but we've seen it in the case where it's like this team just spent a historic amount of money in the offseason and got nothing for it. So maybe there's other teams like the Philadelphia Phillies who have a really good roster, looking at the NFL, or sorry, the NL.
We breathe football on this podcast.
The Braves set tons of offensive records last year and then fell short again in the postseason. That's been their story for 2 years. Maybe they come back super motivated. They had a 7-run inning today. Like, the team is clearly still explosive, clearly still poised for success. Spencer Strider's a guy I know that one person here was targeting in a fantasy draft. And so
did not acquire.
Was it the Cardinals that put up 16 runs in the fourth the other day? Or 14 runs in the fourth?
There's a reason that we pay for a pay-per-view fight, even if it looks like one guy's a favorite and going to win. There's a reason that we watch football every Sunday. There's a reason that you still tune into a Giants or a Red Sox game when they're projected to be the last in their division, because you still play the game and anything can still happen. And especially with 160 games between now and then, it'll be really interesting to see how this whole experiment pans out. And trust me, with the increased media presence of Shohei Ohtani and a scandal on top of it, do you think you want to be in that Dodgers locker room? Los Angeles, Shohei. Like, the Angels right now, nobody even knows if they still exist, right? So there's a pitcher, right? Or not a pitcher, Ferguson. And he's quoted as saying, "Welcome to the new world. The entire media group was clumped around my locker asking me, what was it like giving up a homer to Ohtani? I mean, what could I say? It was the same as giving up a homer to anybody else. But I knew that's not what anybody wanted to hear. He's hit more than one, and I guarantee he's hit better pitches." So it's like that factor and that media presence is going to influence the direction of the Dodgers season. And that could be an inverse thing. That could be a rallying cry for the boys. I want to see this thing play out. I don't think it's predestined at all. I think the NL is wide open.
Well, here's the other thing about the Dodgers too is Chase said it pretty. Actually, you said it. I'm pretty sure prior to the podcast about the gambling scandal coming, in to keep
conspiracies theory.
Yeah, to keep Shohei relevant, right? But as long as media attention focuses on Shohei the whole season, how many of these other stars like Mookie and like Freddie and all these other guys that have been used to being in the spotlight before are going to sit there and be like, man, this guy's just taking up all the showtime. Like, what the fuck? I don't think it's going to come down to that.
Low
but
maintenance enough. Like we've seen how they've operated in the league long enough to know they probably actually will enjoy taking a step back and just playing baseball.
Yeah, but we see how media plays an effect in today's culture and everything like that, and like how it can create tension pretty easily, right? And so like, one storyline could create some tension. It doesn't even have to be anything relevant. It could be, oh yeah, Shohei lost $20 to Mookie over something stupid.
Well, it's and it's a 6-month season. So if I got asked the same question for 6 months,
right. How often? Like if someone asked you, oh, how's it playing with Shohei? Oh, was what Shohei did last night magical? Like all the dude is to them this year is a designated hitter. Granted, he is one of the greatest hitters on that team. Right? You thought I was going to go greatest hitters of all time? No, not putting him there. Sorry.
Please don't.
I won't. Patty's eyes just kind of shot up when I paused. That's why I was like, no.
You shouldn't even be mentioned in the same breath as Barry.
Yeah, no B is, unfortunately. But
Mount Rushmore of GOATs, we got to do that one day.
Yeah, that's gonna be a future pod, but that's going to be a whole podcast because you guys are going to hate my take on it. I'm not going to get into that right now. But so
Everybody
you have this great hitter, and granted, yes, he's a great hitter. Yes, they're the Dodgers' prize season acquisition. But this year, the media attention is going to be all over that. They're going to be all over him, and every single player on that roster, whether it be Will Smith or Freddie or Mookie or Lux or all these other guys, they're going to get asked about Shohei over and over and over and over again. And when does that boil over,
I don't know. We're talking about consummate professionals, guys. Like, these guys have been doing it forever. Like,
dude, if you can call people that...
Dude, we're talking about World Series champions here. Mookie's a 2-time World Series champion. He's had plenty of eyes on him. Like, what are we talking about?
Fan.
I don't think that...
I forgot that you're a Mookie fan.
What does that have to do with anything? I'm just like...
Hey, how many shortstops do the Dodgers have?
I feel like MLB might be in your guys' bag right now, trying to talk up that there's some hope that these teams. I think that this season's the Dodgers to lose, and all eyes will be on them to see what happens. Will they choke? Won't they choke? I don't know, but I don't think that there's really another outcome other than they are either going to win it or they're going to choke in the World Series.
No, and that's the thing, because they're coming off a 100-win season with a worse team. Like, this should be pretty much honestly, predetermined.
If I did want to pick up something kind of to pick on about the Dodgers a little bit, it's the rotation. I know it's going to sound weird, right? But like, if you look at Yamamoto's first start, he wasn't pitching well. He's pitching behind the count the whole time. He looked.
And you think I don't like the Japanese?
No. He just looked stage fright out there. Like, he looks like he has stage fright. Like, he looks like he's a little nervous about pitching the MLB, right?
Sure.
Who else you got? You got Glasgow on there. Who else?
Bobby Miller.
Glasgow is a disgusting pitcher. Dude.
Both those guys are really good right-handed
baseball.
They really
Walker
don't have
Buehler's going to be back in 2 months.
I mean, Buehler's still injured. Let's see how he comes back.
Clayton Kershaw.
He's coming back in July, though. Like, projected back in July.
Out?
Yeah, Kershaw's out till
I missed
July.
that part.
You're all good. there's so much going on in baseball, bro. It's like it's harder to follow, I think, than the NFL.
They got that young kid that looks kind of like Eminem from 8 Mile. What's that kid's name? He lit up the Giants last year. I'm pretty sure he
Cheddar
no-noed.
Bob.
No,
you're talking about
he no-noed the Giants last year. I'm pretty sure.
Cheddar Bob.
was
shot
that
himself.
kid throwing the perfect game through like 4 or 5?
Yeah, remember I like
I can't
specifically
remember.
talked to you about him too.
I
forget his
can't
name.
remember his name. There's so many
Paxton?
players. He's not up. I think he's back down.
Where's hold on, I'm looking at the roster.
But
right
they also
now.
have Bobby Miller, dude. This team is just chock full of talent at every level. They're number one. Okay, Yamamoto. Maybe he's not the fucking number one pitcher in baseball, dude. They've got Glasnow, top 5,
Yeah.
top 10 in my opinion in terms of stuff. Maybe
Yeah.
it doesn't go as deep. Like Bobby
Yeah,
Miller.
no, I think his
he's your
ERA is
number
probably-
3.
His ERA is probably around 10th in the league last year, but for me, it doesn't really matter because, like, okay, they gave up, let's say, on average 4 or 5 runs. You think they're not scoring 5+ runs a game? You're crazy. Like, that team is stacked more so on the offensive side, and they have gloves everywhere. Like, they're not going to make stupid mistakes. So all they really have to do, minimize defensive mistakes and just swing the bat, and
And
they
stay
should.
healthy.
It was
Yeah,
Emmett Sheehan, by the way, pitcher.
Gotcha.
What was his name?
Emmett Sheehan.
Sheehan. Yes, sir.
I do
Yeah.
think with that said, though, that opens up a nice spot for my Giants to hit the wild card. We'd love to see the Giants in the wild card position. That's the only time they have a chance.
Yeah, the Giants are going to look good this year. The real big question on the Giants right now is how they're going to manage some of the young arms coming out of the the bullpen. A lot of the rookies. It's going to be kind of curious to see.
second-year players.
Yeah, it's going to be kind of curious to see what they do with the young players that they sent back down to the minors. Maybe switch out Yastrzemski or a couple of those guys if they start struggling. Maybe Slater. They really
Yaz just
start
got put
struggling.
on paternity leave today. He's about to be a dad.
Congratulations, Yaz. That's
Third
awesome.
generation outfielder, baby. We
Put a
got
bet.
Carl.
People put some bets on him hitting a home run when he comes back. That's that dad's strength. If you know, you know.
Oh God,
But
put 15 on that. Throw it in a
what-
prop. Get some money.
Yes,
No, I
sir.
think the Giants honestly had a really underrated offseason. Like we got
They
Tom
signed a lot of
Murphy to
people.
back up our boy Patty Barrels, aka Patrick Bailey. We got what is it? I can't remember if it's pronounced Jung Hoo Lee or Young Hoo Lee, but
Young Ho.
should be really good. We got Chapman for the JD Davis swap. I think it's kind of like an offensive wash, maybe even a downgrade, but we're league worst on defense last year, and we look to have improved that astronomically. And then
think-
we got
I
rid
think
of
average-wise-
DeSclafani and Mitch Haniger for a huge cap relief. And then we also got Robbie Ray when he comes back from injury. So I think that's like a sneaky good trade. I
You're
think
missing
that
a
was
couple
really
of people
clever.
there. I think going back to the JD Davis and the Chapman thing, I think you trade average, but natural power. I think Chapman's got JD Davis. You can look at his stats. He's a better home run hitter than JD Davis. Davis was
Well,
hitting
we
for
also
power.
got Soler for power, though, too.
Correct. Yeah, we got Soler. He's actually not batting cleanup. They've had Chapman batting cleanup in yesterday's lineup, and then today they have him batting cleanup as well. Big pitcher acquisition you missed. Had a really good outing the very last spring training game. That was Jordan Hicks. Hicks
Jordan
came
Hicks
in.
and Blake Snell. I didn't touch pitching yet. You're right.
Yeah, so Jordan Hicks comes in. He's moving from a rotational bullpen guy to a starter. Comes out this last start and proves that he belongs there. Granted, it be spring training. Towards the end, you are starting a little bit more of an MLB lineup. He puts up five really clean innings, 10 strikeouts, 0 hits, 0 runs. He looked really good. But like kind of going back to it too, there's the question there too is how Melvin's going to make it all work. And then is Melvin and the front office kind of starting to develop a plan to continue pushing, this rookie movement as we're seeing, and integrating them with the players they already got. So we'll see how that works. That is the curious part about the Giants right now, though, is what they're going to do with their lineup once everybody's healthy. Because you got Alex Cobb on the DL. You got
Long season, man. People are going to go up and down, and we're going to need people to get rest days.
True.
But yeah, I think in terms of the NL, like unless we're really forgetting somebody major, like
Well,
we
I
wanted
do-
to.
Leaving out the D-backs, I mean, I don't really want to get into an argument about it. I don't think that the Giants honestly even have a chance at the wild card. Not to be the
No,
Debbie
that's
Downer
fine, bro.
here, but
I'm
I
just a potential.
it's not even a it's just a bats problem. It's an arms problem. You guys have no artillery on that offense, and it's gonna start. It's gonna hurt. I mean, the writing's on the wall on that.
I mean, we signed
Led
two
the league in
bats that had,
homers 2021, and then the last 2 years have been ultra painful. The ball doesn't go over the fence. So.
RBI's not the best.
No, not
I
at
mean, we
all,
signed
no.
two big bats
Yeah.
though. I mean, like I said, dude, you
No,
signed.
and I think the Diamondbacks are going to be sneaky. We are
Yeah, I mean,
forgetting
they showed
about
it
them.
yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, the
Defending
thing is,
NL champions, Jordan Montgomery on the roster. Corbin Carroll's going to take another step forward, dude. I'm excited to see what Corbin Carroll
I was thinking
can
of
do. I
Corbin
think that this guy
Burns.
could do 40-40, probably maybe 40-50. Like,
Wow.
maybe one day. What is he, 22, 23?
We'll see. Yeah,
25,
no,
44?
that's the thing
He's
too.
so young.
Like, you have the Padres with like 18 shortstops as well, or whatever. Just stacked
A
up.
lot
It's
of
going to
them,
be a good race underneath
Yeah.
for that wild card.
I was going
But
to say, and
just-
I think the Padres are the dark horse here.
I was gonna say
Dylan Cease was a
Padres
really
is
nice
kind of who I wanted to
acquisition.
talk about. Dylan Cease is gonna be really good.
Yes.
You got that sleeper rookie who actually I'm pretty high on right now, Jackson Merrill, youngest kid to
Yes.
make an opening day start. I want to say he's the youngest kid that's made one in like 30 years or something like that. He's traditionally shortstop, moving over to that center field position. Very athletic, can hit the ball. He can really move that around. But with the amount of shortstops and athleticism that team has, as well as their pitching core, I think they'll do okay. That Dylan Cease addition was huge, though. So
Dylan Cease at Petco is going to be disgusting. That
yeah,
is such a pitcher-friendly ballpark.
that screams
love this.
Cy Young. That screams maybe putting a third
Yeah.
potential NL Cy Young in that division.
He's got some stuff to clean up on his control, and advanced analytics would call both of us idiots. But I'm with you. I think a Dylan Cease Cy Young run could
In that park,
be a
yeah.
sneaky play.
Either in
yeah.
that park or up.
They have a lot of. That's the best part about the NL West, except for fucking Arizona and I guess Arizona and Denver. But you got three great pitching parks right there.
I was
in
just saying,
San Francisco,
move
LA,
up to
and
SF, dude.
good old
Padres.
Denver.
I think we kind of leave it there on the NL
we got to
West.
stop talking about the NL West. We were like, let's not talk about the Dodgers and talk
I
about
know,
the Dodgers
yeah,
for 10
spent way
minutes.
too long on them. I do like to jump over to the NL East. I'm kind of huge on the Marlins this year. I think the Mets are going to be a team that kind of just dumps some players at trade deadline. I think they're going to be in a rebuild. But the one team that we can't not talk about in the NL West is the Atlanta Braves.
NL East.
Or NL East, Jesus, well.
Still on your mind.
Yeah.
No, man,
We
they're
got to talk about
crazy
Atlanta,
good.
though. I mean, Atlanta's always a contender. They arguably have one of the best lineups in baseball. Their pitching staff, you got Spencer Strider out there. Your boy
Chris
Spencer
Sale
Strider.
is going to have a comeback season.
Chris Sale
just
is going
I
to be
feel
looking good. Yep. I have him as my make it or break it player on Atlanta Braves this year. I think, I would like to see him go over 102 innings. I
think we could see him go over 150.
I
You know
think
what's
he
crazy,
did.
bros? They also have Max Fried, Charlie Morton, and Bryce Elder, bro.
It's crazy. The pitching there
Dude.
is wild.
Yeah, they're going to be looking good.
They're gonna steal
Matt
a lot of
Olson
bases.
coming off a 54 home run season, dude.
Oh, dude.
Is this
Matt
the
Olson
least
is
hyped a
doing that.
54 home run hitter has ever been the season after? Like, dude, we were blowing off Aaron Judge for
That's
hitting
what I'm
61. This guy hit 7 less. I haven't heard a peep.
Yeah, they've
I
been
think
pretty
part
quiet
of
about
it though is
too.
just because they fell flat on their face in the playoffs again.
So did the Yankees every year, but nobody fucking
No,
stopped
I-
blowing them off.
I know.
Well, it's crazy 'cause
I
people-
did.
Give me.
decades
I'm
ago,
going to take
but-
every opportunity to take my shots at those fuckers.
Again,
You
I think
must be
this
a
is like
Sox
a
fan or something.
Yeah, I must be. I don't know.
Your cousin.
it's going to be a common theme when we talk about the NL West, or like just the NL in general. The Dodgers are going to kind of overshadow everything. You haven't really heard much about Ronald Acuna Jr. this offseason at all.
Right?
What did he do last season? That was an MVP performance.
40-70.
Yeah,
40-70.
40-70. What is the first player to do that? And that team's stacked too. You got Matt Olson. You got Ozzy Albies, Austin Riley, dude. Like
Austin.
Marcelo
fucking
Ozuna,
Riley,
bro.
dude.
Marcelo
Yes, sir.
Ozuna's, yeah. Dude,
Ozuna's gonna come back from
Orlando
having a kind of a rough
Arcia.
season.
my
Yeah.
ideal NL pennant like series would be them going into Dodgers.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And I want to see it go to 7. I want to see it just boom, 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 boom.
America needs it.
I just want, it's like the 2 stacked star power teams in the NL just going at each other.
You know what I'm also kind of dreaming for is I'm dreaming that somehow Craig Kimbrell becomes really fucking good again for one season. The Braves trade for him, get him back on the Braves. He closes out the Dodgers in Game 7 of the NLCS. Calling it now. Chase Stradamus.
That'd be wild.
Chase Stradamus. Jesus. We do have kind of a sneaky, quiet, team. The Philadelphia Phillies. I think they're a wild card team. It all depends on Bryce Harper staying kind of, healthy. I want to say he's transitioning to first base this year.
Yeah, he started it last year, I believe.
Yeah, he started last year, but it's full season. That's another team that's got a lot of pieces to it.
Though. So sad.
They've got Trey Turner. They got Nick Castellanos. JT Realmuto. Even Alex Baum's on there.
Bryson Stott.
Bryson Stott's a guy. You were huge on him last year.
Love Bryson Stott, dude. I was big on him last year.
I want to say they have Kyle Schwarber.
Yeah, they still have
Schwarb. That's where he ended up.
I mean, out of all that though, like, are we really talking?
He looks like a Philly guy.
He does. He was hitting bombs there for a minute, right?
Yeah, I think he hit. Did he hit 35, 37 home runs last year?
You would know better than me, man. You're the stats guy.
They could potentially. I'm kind of looking at this. They have Zach Wheeler too, right?
Yeah, Philly.
Yeah.
Philly has Zach Wheeler.
Aaron Nola. They don't have a bad rotation.
They got a lot of top side on the rotation. I think the bottom of their rotation is kind of
top
weak.
1, 2, and
they were trying to get Yamamoto this offseason. So
here's the problem with that, like just that particular division. It's like Braves are winning it, so then it's like Phillies, Marlins, Phillies. It just really depends how they end up
Phillies clear easy. I think the Marlins have no shot, to be honest. Too. I hate to be the Debbie Downer here. I think.
Yeah, so the Marlins are interesting, right? And I think they can be kind of summed up with just one of their players. You got Luis Arias on their team. He hits for average and everything like that.
Wait, time out.
Marlins.
How many shortstops?
Ooh, I don't have an answer on that. I have a list, but it's
this is your favorite to win the NL East, and you don't even know how many shortstops are on their team.
That's crazy.
He didn't do his homework.
Did I say they were my favorite to win the NL East?
Been saying that.
No, I have to take the Atlanta Braves.
Okay.
I'm not fucking retarded. I wrote a short list. That's it, okay?
Okay, but do you like the Phillies too?
I told you the Phillies would be a wild card team.
So then you're thinking both wild cards are coming out of the NL East.
No.
I don't think the Marlins have any shot then.
I'm saying, like...
I'm not saying that. Let me finish with my point.
I could see a universe where they're competitive.
I think they're going to be competitive, right? So you got Luis Arias, who's been known for his batting average, right? And the Philadelphia... Jesus, you got me all fucked off now. This is great. So the Miami Marlins...
This guy a map, bro.
Miami Marlins one of those teams that hits
Professor
for average, right?
Oak's granddaughter and get yourself a town map.
Okay? They have good players, good pieces, but at the end of the day, in that division, they are considered average. Point done. Not going to try and waste my time fucking pushing players and fancy little buttons over here to fucking make it sound
I have one more
cool.
thing to say on the subject. You're saying they're average, and this is anything but average.
I was going to say we should not be talking about that.
That's all I wanted to say.
That's fair. So
I could see them being one of those teams that start moving people at the deadline just because they know it. Like, they've got some pretty good pieces. They got Jazz Chisholm that can be moved. They
should have moved him this offseason. He's just so hard to stay healthy.
Yeah, they got John Birdie. I don't even know who the fuck that is, but
he steals a lot of bags.
As I was gonna say, he's really good for something, apparently.
For something.
Fucking killer analysis.
I got nothing on him, dude. I didn't really look at him. I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you. The team's always been kind of about, like Tim Anderson, Jazz Chisholm, Luis Arias, Jake Berger.
I do like Berger this year.
And Josh Bell, right?
Yeah, I mean, he's
on the
there.
Marlins.
I don't really know much about Josh Bell.
First, probably. He's probably gunning people down at first.
Now the shitter in the shitter in the league that we shouldn't just even talk about is the Washington Nationals. Sorry, I'm not.
Washington Nationals, go F yourself.
Yeah, let's move to the NL Central. I mean, we should probably keep it quick. I don't really think it's a very exciting division.
Red. When they go grab a shaker?
Yeah, you're taking the
Let me grab a dash of some driver muth and a little
The
bit
Matt
of gin.
McClain injury is tough, though. They lose
It
McClain.
is,
Yeah, dude.
But what I'm saying is, let me grab the shaker, let me grab some ice, a little bit of gin, and some driver moose. Shake it up because we got Nick Martini, homie. He's gonna hold some ground. Jonathan India, Ellie De La Cruz. I feel like it's theirs to win. They got Spencer Steer, Jake Fraley. I think they're in a
I do
good
like
spot,
Fraley.
right? Like I look at this roster. Christian Encarnacion Strand, bro. Longest hyphenated name in the history of hyphenated fucking names.
Dude,
okay?
that guy fucked over the Jersey guys.
Yeah.
Okay, but the real question is, who the fuck is pitching?
That I couldn't tell you.
The problem with that team is they have no fucking pitching. They had a guy
They
named
got
Anthony
Lagolo, but he's
They had a
work
guy
in
named Anthony
progress.
Discopane, and they sent him to the fucking Giants, and he was still a shitter. He was hit or miss. They called him the disco ball because they didn't know they were getting.
He was
Okay.
so bad.
They did not know what they were getting. They
Good.
either got a good one or a bad one. All right, that was him.
I
right?
honestly, I think it's gonna be the Cubs again, right? They won the Central last year, right?
I
So the
could see
Cubs
that,
did
dude.
some-
They have a ton of.
I think it's gonna be the
they
Cubs
have
again.
Bellinger over there. They
I
have the
really
new
like
manager.
something I'm really hot on. I've been wanting to talk about is Shota Imanaga. He was
Ooh.
kind of like under the radar because of Shohei and Yamamoto coming out. He's kind of smaller, so he doesn't have that kind of top end velocity that kind of wows people. But what I really like about this guy, he has some of the best extension, and there's a lot of correlation between extension stats and the ability to get strikeouts and have the stuff. So even though he's 5'11", short arms for
You're talking about
for
Seiya, right?
baseball, no Shota.
Shota. He just got signed this year.
Imanaga.
Yeah,
Got you.
he just got signed this
Yeah.
year.
He has elite extension numbers, so look for him to kind of wow. I'm excited about him. Lots of Ks.
The thing I
He'll
will
be
say
really
about that
fun.
though is like outside of that, again, where the fuck's the rotation
Belly.
at?
Oh, the rotation?
Yeah. It's just like, dude, all these teams in the NL Central have a lot of really good pieces, and then where the fuck is the rotation? You know,
I mean,
so it's like
Kyle Hendricks, bro. And
Justin
Jordan
Steele
Wick.
too, dude. Like we're forgetting
Yeah.
about Justin Steele here. Like, what do you mean?
Justin Steele's decent, yeah. So you got
Okay.
another top. You got two pitchers, right?
You got two top tier arms. You need one more, and you're a
Yeah,
playoff run
you need-
player
you
team
need
now.
Well,
five
that's the
pitchers,
thing.
right?
Like they,
No, you need
Act-
5 pitchers to play all season. But I'm saying, like, if you can get to the playoffs,
Okay.
you can get through with 3 elite
Let me
guys.
put it this way: they have a 35% chance to make the playoffs.
you know what else they have?
Their
Four
Defense
defense,
is pretty
shortstop.
good when there's 5 other teams fighting them for a spot.
their
They got
defense
4
is
shortstops led by Dansby Swanson. Okay,
And dude, I like this team.
actually have
I'm
5
talking
shortstops.
myself into this.
They actually have 5.
Ian Happ, bro. Bellinger, Seiya Suzuki, who had comparable
Seiya, dude.
stats to Acuna Jr. through the last third of last season, which is crazy. We're talking
Actually,
about.
it was crazy. What the fuck? I didn't know
Look
that.
it up. Look it up, bro. And
I'm
one
not
other
Dude,
gonna
why
thing.
sit
aren't you
here-
telling me this before my fantasy draft?
Look, dude,
Fuck.
I'm not going to sit here
I
and
figured
argue the
you'd
fact
know
that they
more
have
than me.
talent, defensive talent within
Defensive
like,
and offensive talent, bro. They're
I
gonna
get
be
that,
fine.
but the defensive talent and the offensive talent is there. The problem is you're looking at 2 guys in the rotation.
Well, they have 5 guys, just so we're
Is
clear.
there
They do,
is there a
but who
better
are
set
they?
of like rotational
Dude, you
pitching
can
in their
add-
division?
Baseball is the best sport for adding pieces during the season. It's so easy to get
Absolutely.
talent, dude. I like this team a lot. I do
Right.
not get the hate.
I'm just saying, dude.
So like I'm looking
if I-
at like the Brewers, for instance, like their pitching staff is dismal. Are they gonna outpitch the Cubs? Probably not. Right?
No.
Like I feel like
That
it's
team
the
needs to
Cubs and the
trade-
Reds.
Put
That
some
team-
respect on Freddie Peralta's name, though.
True. Freddie Peralta. I mean,
Nasty.
who else you got in there? You got Christian Yelich, dude. Like, I know he's not a pitcher, but they need to trade him and fucking move on. They got another
Dude,
shortstop
they have
that's
Jacob
great.
Junis in their rotation. They're boned. I've
Jacob
seen that
Junis?
guy up close and personal. They're boned.
I'm just saying, dude, my team out of the NL Central, and it's got to be the Cardinals. Unfortunately.
Are the Cardinals? Who do they have?
Lance
I mean, they
Lynn,
got
Tony-
Goldie and Nolan Arenado.
Yep, they got
That's fair.
I
Nolan,
like their
Like,
offense.
they have
I don't
Nolan,
like their
Nolan
I don't like their
Arenado,
rotation.
Goldie. I'm just saying, dude, I think they've got the chance. I think they've got the stronger rotation.
Sonny
They've got
Gray,
better
but
relief
he's
pitchers.
injured.
Dude,
They
their
got Ryan
ace, their number 1 pitcher is Miles Mikolas.
Oh, I don't know though. That
No, they have
stash is
Sony
pretty
Gray.
legendary, bro.
Yeah,
That guy's
I
got a
love Miles
caterpillar.
Nicholas, but like he's like a number 3, number 4
They have Sony
in a
Gray. Lance
rotation.
Lynn, he's probably past his prime.
Oh,
I'm
they do
kind of looking
also
at
have
that.
Wilson Contreras. That's crazy. Matt Carpenter's sneaky.
Yeah, I mean the offense is there, the defense is, or the pitching is just not.
I don't actually think I could name anybody in their outfield. I don't know.
Tyler O'Neill's out. Yeah, I don't know anybody in that team. They got Jordan
I don't know.
Walker. I like Jordan Walker.
I'm not
He's got
familiar
some-
with this game.
He's massive. He's like the next Aaron Judge, dude. He's super tall. He's like 6'6",
Yeah, I mean,
6'8".
Hit 276 last year, slugged 787,
Yeah.
342 on base. I can live with that. 16
If he
homers,
could get his
51
launch
RBI.
angle up a little bit, I think this guy's got 40 bomb.
He had
potential.
420 at bats.
They
I
kept
can't-
moving him up and down.
Oh
last
shit,
year.
bro! He's from Decatur. My man's
Well-
from Stone Mountain.
I don't care where the guy's from. If he can play baseball, he can play baseball. We're moving on. AL Central.
Thanks, coach.
Yeah, dude. What a transition!
AL
man.
Central.
Yeah, AL Central. I'm going to start here. You know, the Twins kind of found an ace in Pablo Lopez. You know, they've got Joanne Johan. I guess it's technically Johan Duran.
You'll figure it
Yeah.
out.
We got there.
I thought I didn't see the H originally when I wrote it down, but I'm glad I'm kind of looking at it. It's got to be Johan. You know, they've got Johan Duran. They've got Carlos Correa, Byron Buxton. Wow, I cannot talk. You know, the biggest
Yeah.
change
Royce
to
Lewis
them.
got hurt though.
Yeah. The biggest change to them is how do they fill the hole of Sonny Gray and Kenta Maeda in their rotation? You know, they've got a team. They look good. They look revamped. Outside of that, I mean, you're looking at the Tigers, Guardians, White Sox, and Royals in that division. The Tigers could make a case. What do they got? What, Milky Cabrera? They got rid
They're
of
not
him.
doing anything. Tigers are the worst team in this division. Besides, our Tigers and White Sox are just going to be battling for dog shit.
I am curious to see Spencer Torkelson and Riley Green though out of the Tigers. I you know, I really like both of them. Torkelson started to grow. You know, he's kind of moving up there. Riley
I
Green.
think Casey Mize is still over there. Could see him be on the move in this or during the year.
Yeah.
Oh, and Scooby, dude, Tariq Skubal, disgusting. Probably the best
Skubal.
2-pitch pitcher we got.
Yeah.
And dude, he's one of the best pitchers in the league who only has 2 pitchers in my
He
opinion.
ranked just
Two
behind Spencer
pitches, in my
Strider
opinion.
and Tyler Glass now in K percentage.
Those
Strike
Tigers,
percentage.
Guardians.
He's nasty.
Yeah.
Disgusting.
I think he posted like a super low, like under 5% walk rate.
Yep. Which
Yeah,
is what he's struggled with in the past. So
Yeah.
sneaky Cy Young play, I think.
Yeah, it could be. Who else we were talking about there? Guardians next. We want to go there. What are you guys thinking in the AL Central? I don't want to
Also,
say
I mean,
team by
AL
The
Central.
Guardians are interesting because they have
Yeah.
one of the world's best pitchers in Shane Bieber, but they're also trying to sell him. It
They
just
got
it's like,
lots
what's
of
the
pitchers.
price?
Though. They got Tanner Bibby. They've got Manuel
Mhm.
Clace.
Yeah.
Who's the other guy? I'm forgetting one. Tristan McKenzie, dude.
Tristan
I like
McKenzie,
this. I mean, Cleveland is
Carlos
just
They're
Carrasco.
pitching.
another
Wow,
one of those teams that just fucking just
Dude, their pitching staff might
they
be the most
push
complete.
out pitchers, dude, all the time.
Yeah.
No,
It is,
absolutely.
I'm curious to see what Stephen Vogt does there. You know, coming from player to manager and fairly quickly. You know, he's going to be the skipper there. Is he going to
Pitchers
have?
have that knack, don't they? Huh?
Yeah, is he going to have that game sense like right off the bat? Though I don't know if he coached minor league at all, or if he coached, you know, for a major league team or
I
something.
think he'll be fine on all that. I don't think that'll be an issue.
Yeah. I feel like you got to know the game to play at the level. And at
Didn't he
that
just
point,
retire
it's
like 2 years ago?
Not too long ago.
Streamline it, bro.
And we need to talk about, I mean, Bobby Witt is going to have himself a motherfucking year this year. Dude, he's an MVP play. He's an
I do
MVP
like
play.
Bobby Witt, yeah.
Dude, Bobby Witt is disgusting, and he's going to be really fun to watch.
And that would skyrocket the card value that I have of him. 1 to 10 auto. Anytime you want it, Chase, let me know. We'll talk trades. It is a jumbo patch bat auto.
Is it a rookie?
Oh, NC State defeated number 2 Marquette.
Let's go!
Wow.
Let's roll, baby. Breaking news.
DJ Burns, baby.
Somebody
See you
play
later.
Cinderella by Future.
Dude, wait. By the way, we have the text message. Remember when I watched Survivor Advance and I was like, what if NC State does it again?
Honestly, I think
Nostradamus.
that's this year's Cinderella story you're watching unfold right now. Like they're the highest seed remaining. Lowest seed remaining. They're just doing it. So,
Hell yeah, dude. Let's move on to the AL East.
before we do, I got to
AL.
talk about my boy Luis Robert Jr. Not on a team that I think is going to make a huge playoff push.
More like
especially
my
after,
condolences.
especially after losing Dylan Cease. But they also have Eloy Jimenez and Jake Berger. The White
Burgers
Sox.
in Miami.
Is he? Did he get traded?
Got traded last year. We were
We
talking
also
about him
got
earlier.
that new milkshake I mentioned in the intro. And if you haven't heard about this thing,
I don't think we should be talking about the White Sox. They're irrelevant.
hey, bro, it's a
franchise.
campfire milkshake. Get your s'more
They
on,
are. I just,
you moron.
Luis Robert, I think that he might be a trade piece. That's kind of where I
Yeah.
wanted to go with that. We'll see. We'll see how he does. I don't know any of their fucking pitchers. I don't even want to go into that. So
Yeah,
Michael
no, they need to
Kopech might
figure out
have
their
a fun
rotation.
year.
Their bullpen's huge, and they only have 4 starters. They're not really in the best position. Really,
They're
poised to
going to
make
be
a
letting
run.
a lot of young kids get a lot
But-
of long relief run is what they're going to be doing.
Yeah, and I feel like though, just looking across their roster though, like Eloy Jimenez, bro, Andrew Benintendi, Paul DeYoung, who
Hot
else?
take,
Martin
Benintendi
Maldonado.
is fucking
DeYoung's
overrated.
there too.
No, I'm not saying that
Isn't
he's
DeJong?
like the
No, I'm just
best
kidding.
player in the history of the in baseball.
just
I'm just
insulted
saying
the
like they
kid.
have solid pieces across the board. This could end up being above 500 team.
But we're talking
I don't know about
postseason
that.
teams. I mean,
Man, they only have to
I
win
think the only
83
reason they
games.
could be above 500 is because the AL Central's so weak.
yeah. Which leads us to the AL West.
Okay. I want to talk about the AL East. Let's talk about the AL East,
You don't
dude.
want to save the best for
I
last,
thought
dude?
we were gonna save the best for last.
All right, let's,
Yeah, what the
let's
fuck?
talk about the AL West. Fucking Mariners suck. Get wrecked.
The Mariners
I
suck.
thought the
We're gonna
Mariners were
leave-
supposed to be pretty good.
I mean, but they're the Mariners, so.
No, I know they were only
Yeah,
2
but I think
games
there's two
back of
stronger.
the Astros and the Rangers
No,
last year.
I like the Mariners roster. I just talking shit because they got their asses kicked last night.
Gotcha.
I like
yeah, I mean-
George Kirby a lot.
I mean,
They added quite a few pieces too. Like they got Jorge Polanco, Mitch Garver, Mitch Haniger.
The double Mitch Witch sandwich, baby.
Mitch
and
Witch,
they
dude.
still have Julio
Mitch Witch, dude.
Rodriguez. So like I don't know, man.
I love Julio. Who doesn't?
I
though?
say all these teams could make a run, but like if we're adding percentages to this, so far we've been at like 50% confidence. I'm at like 64% on this.
Mariners are legitimate wild card, even in AL West
Well,
dark horse.
it's really crazy, right? Because the AL West, you have the Astros, the reigning, what am I thinking here? World Series champions,
AL
the
West.
Rangers.
Yeah.
You got
What's
the
crazy
Mariners,
is you
right?
also
You have Mike Trout and the Angels, which do we really
just
want to
Mike
count them
Trout.
out
There's
fully?
nobody else out
Yeah,
there.
we're counting the Angels out. They had Shohei Ohtani last year, and they still couldn't
And then
do
you got
it.
pure garbage and the dumpster fire of athletics, which we don't even talk
Yeah,
about.
but
That. But you have-
their fans hung out in the parking lot eating free tacos, watching the game on a projector instead of going in.
yeah,
They hate the ownership, bro. They are so through with it. It's crazy. How is that simultaneously the best and the worst division?
it goes from
Yeah,
really, really, really,
it's
really
very
stacked
top.
to
It's kind of
nothing.
like
They're
it's
gonna all
kinda
have
like
300 wins because they get to go eat in Oakland all the time and go eat in Los Angeles or Anaheim.
In my
rather.
opinion, I feel like the NL West and AL West are exactly the same. You've got 3 heavyweights and kind of 2 bottom feeders.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Honestly, and so that's where it's crazy. I don't know. Rangers are the champions until proven otherwise.
Dude, Wyatt
Astros.
Langford's gonna be the talk of the town this season. We were talking about that before. Let's get that out there. He's gonna be a guy that you know.
yeah, Langford.
I think
yeah.
so.
Yeah, he's
Um,
really,
But
really
yeah,
good.
Scherzer and DeGrom, bro, for the Rangers coming back. So that's like if they start
I'm-
peaking and
I'm
they have
curious to
those
see how
guys on
Scherzer-
fresh arms, bro.
It
oof.
will be interesting though because without Jordan Montgomery, they
Yeah.
don't have
Mhm.
him now. They
Yeah,
don't have those
who's-
3.
Who's
But
at
they
those
number
also
three?
have what is it? Seager and Simeon, you know. So it's like
Oh yeah, but like we've been
We're
talking
talking
about arms
pitching.
and who's
Yeah.
pitching. Yeah, like
You got
it's gonna be
two.
it's gonna be tough sledding.
I feel
think
like
for
we're
a
giving
bit.
too much. Like I feel like with the pitch clock now, like pitching is almost it's more valuable but less valuable because at the accelerated rate, like more runs are going to happen with the new stolen base rules. More runs are going to happen. ERAs are going up. Like,
Well, that's the
it's becoming
MLB's
more of an
way of trying to
offensive
make the game more
game, and that's
interesting.
I
I don't like
see
these
the-
changes. I'm an
I
old
don't
man.
either.
I would like
I
So-
don't
like to
either,
drink
dude.
so-
Get
sweet
rid of the
tea
pitch
on my
clock. Give
porch.
me smaller bases
So
again.
here's the
I
thing,
want
though,
it to
right?
be
Like, you guys
normal.
can go back and look in baseball, and it's like this, right? Like, offensive production goes down, MLB changes rules, offensive production goes up, it goes down again.
They
MLB
tried to
starts
sneak in
changing it.
some really really interesting balls one season.
Yeah, so the whole idea is, right, as a business model, you look at the MLB, what attracts fans? Base running, home runs, hits, offense.
Campfire milkshakes.
Not a guy standing on a fucking mound throwing one pitch per fucking 28 seconds.
That's
and
what
just
I
being
come
like-
to the game for.
We,
That's
as
what I'm
people
here
that
for
actually
as well.
understand baseball,
Thank
love
you.
that, right? Like, don't get me wrong, dude. That's baseball. The problem is to attract a new generation of fans, to bring in that next, market. They change the rules and adapt the game.
We
to try
should
and
do
make
this
it
argument
quicker.
this summer. I want to flesh this out a lot more.
I do too.
You're
I'm just
sounding
telling you how it
awfully like
fucking
a
works.
communist over there.
I was
Lenny.
gonna say MLB is in this motherfucker's bag right now.
Bruh. You
In
can't even go and
Soviet
say that.
Russia,
On a side note, though, to bring
who's
this all
putting
back
you up
in,
to this?
not one, not two, but who the fuck is the third? The Texans don't have a third fucking pitcher. We
How
haven't
many
talked about
times
the
can you say
Astros.
the F
Pitchers
word?
right now.
How many
I-
times?
We're changing, I know, but we haven't really talked about the Astros. I think they're a sneaky team in it all. I think they've been doing it a little too long, though. I think they've had so much success that they're bound to start regressing at a point. And we'll see how that works. The other regression point I want to talk about and I know I'm bouncing back, but I wanted to send this point out when you guys were talking about them, is DeGrom and Scherzer are getting old. What's the regression?
And they're injured.
And they're prone to injuries, the last couple of years. What's the regression going to look like from them, just, with the age and stuff like that? And what the real question is, what is Texas going to do to address that? What are the Rangers going to do to move around pieces, either bring up young arms or trade off some prospects and maybe even some MLB players to get a couple of fresh arms in there, or younger arms to actually compete again for a World Series? So that'll be
We'll see.
curious
It's
to
an
see.
interesting roster, to be frank.
Yeah, there's a lot of pieces.
Weird.
They actually really do have a lot of good prospects down there.
It's kind of shocking that they won the World Series. Outside, if those two guys
Hey,
aren't
bro.
healthy,
I said it early. You make the wild card, you have potential to win the World Series.
Yeah.
There is always those choke teams.
I don't
That-
disagree.
It's
2004 Red Sox, baby.
it's how it goes.
Can we transition now? Can we talk about it,
All right,
please?
Chase, I'm going to let you lead this one off.
The division of champions. Every team in this division could win it, and could also
Except for
make
the Red
playoffs.
Sox. Yeah.
Yeah, if you asked me that 2 days ago, I'd say yes. But
One game
I've
into
had
it.
the
You're already all
masculine
about
urge.
it.
I've
Yeah.
had the masculine urge to say we're so fucking
Yeah,
back.
fucking
One day
guys.
after saying it's over.
I had to listen to the last 4 months of fucking Iceman telling me, my fucking franchise sucks. They won't fucking
They
spend
hate
money.
us.
They won't get us pitchers. They won't get us hitting. Rafael Devers is a superstar. He's going everywhere. They're going to do everything. They're going to have to trade him. They're going to fucking do this, blah, 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 blah. Up until today.
I'm back, baby.
Up until today, he watches
we
one
win
game.
opening day.
One
And I can
opening
shut
game
up all my
day.
Seattle Mariner
And
friends,
here
dude.
comes fucking
Hell yeah.
Iceman. Here comes Iceman. Hey guys, I know I've been hating on him all the whole time, but guess what?
I'm
We
fucking
have the
idiot.
offensive power to win a chip. We have the offensive power to compete against the Yankees, the Orioles, all of these fucking
Right.
guys.
I agree
So-
with that.
All jokes aside,
Let's hear it.
I think that it's the Orioles. I truly think it's the Orioles division to lose. I think the Yankees are fucking overrated. I think
Mhm.
they'll choke their way. They might make the playoffs. They won't do shit. Mark my words. You can fucking save that receipt. I'll fucking take that to the grave. They suck this year. I think the Blue Jays could be fun, but they're the dude. Pat was saying this before. They're the fucking Jays. They need to do something before. I believe.
So here's the thing, right?
I
The
like
Blue
'em.
Jays. It is the Blue
Third
Jays
favorite
division
team.
to lose. You got Kevin Gosman.
Best logo.
You got Barrios, right? You got Bassett. The real question of that pitching staff, though, is Alek Manoah, is he going to come back? And is he going to make that fucking pitching staff elite, or is he going to turn them into a dumpster fire? Right?
They're already a dumpster fire with or without him.
No, they're
I
not.
feel like the Blue Jays, their onus is more how can we support this pitching staff, because outside of Vlad Guerrero and Bo Bichette, I don't really know who's scoring runs or being the driving train. Now
Justin
Got
Vladdy's
Justin
Turner.
Turner.
George Springer,
Okay.
if he can come back and actually start hitting again.
right, but that's like blast
did
from the
last night.
past, right? Like you want to blast from the past with
It-
those guys.
Dalton
and so like
Ferris show.
I was gonna say you want one of those dice rolls, not 5 of them.
yeah, I just feel like they're rolling the dice on a lot of people. Maybe they're the team that goes and has the cojones to go and reach for a guy like Shane Bieber. Everybody
Yeah.
needs a little more Bieber in their life. It's not too late to say you're sorry, and you can want him for just his body. It's okay, So go get Biebs.
Biebs is my baby.
Yeah,
That's
that's
what I'm
fair.
saying.
With the
Ooh.
Orioles though, so if I'm sitting here comparing these two teams, right? And I'm thinking which one's going to do better, okay? I think looking at rosters, the Toronto Blue Jays, they do have enough hitting and enough power to overpower the Orioles rotation. Right?
Corbin Burns
Are you
would
aware of
disagree.
who is on that rotation? Are you aware?
And not only that,
Who
bro,
do you got?
like
Corbin Burns. He's a guy.
Okay,
Never
there's
Corbin
one.
Burns, Grayson Rodriguez, Tyler Wells,
Grayson
David
Rodriguez?
Grammer, Cole
Never heard of
Irvin,
him.
I have
Craig
Grayson
Kimbrell
Rodriguez.
closing things out.
I have Grayson Rodriguez as my make it or break player. Like that dude
Yeah,
gets
the
injured.
thing is,
Hey,
too,
he's
like,
a
do you
make
know
it or
who these
break it
guys
player
throw
for
to?
me.
Dude,
Do you know who these guys throw to?
I'm aware. You got Corbin Burns, Adley Rutschman, Gunnar Henderson. You've got
And that's what I'm saying.
you've
They have
got
the
that
best
right.
catcher in baseball, bro. They have a stacked offensive roster, and they have a good, strong top of
Grayson
their
he's gonna take
rotation.
a step, dude.
But here's the thing too.
Yeah.
Like this team, they've got the best farm system, right? I'll give it to them. They're the best farm system in baseball. They've got a good roster now. A lot of this roster is the same as last year. So what's changing?
They're getting better. They're all like 20
They were really
years
young
old.
last year.
They're young as shit.
Yeah.
They're all top prospects. They take a step the next year.
And that's
we'll
the
see.
idea. I mean,
We'll see.
Dude, I'm hype on the Orioles. I'm a big Gunnar
I think
Henderson
the Orioles
fan.
will be good in like 5 years. I think they need to change their rotation. I think you'll see it.
I cannot believe that the
in
take
5
after
years.
signing Corbin Burns is they need to improve the rotation.
It's one guy.
What
Yeah,
do you
you know what's
want
crazy?
them to do?
they
I
have
have been
Jackson
on this-
Holiday that they could call up
What
too.
do you want them to do? What
We're not
more
talking-
could they have done? Could
I
they
mean-
had to sign Yamamoto to make you happy too?
How'd
No,
the
but
Giants
I
win
wanna
it, bro?
see
How'd
more
the
than a
Giants get
1-2
3
punch.
titles in 6 years?
Homegrown pitching. I got that, right? I'm not sitting here and saying
And-
that.
Dude, they got
Timely
Kremer
hitting.
too. Kremer's a good player.
Bro,
Here's the thing, though.
timely hitting. They had a great catcher. They had young farm system all through their outfield and infield, and then they added a few veterans through free
Dude, and we
agency.
are
and little
downplaying
trades.
Cedric
The
Mullins,
biggest
dude.
difference about the San Francisco Giants and all these other fucking teams is they've actually proven they can homegrown pitcher. Like they can bring up homegrown
What
pitching.
is this?
to win.
What does this point have to do with the Orioles?
Pitching is their fucking question.
Okay,
That's all I'm saying. Outside of
I'm just
Corbin Burns, who
they
else?
were good pitchers last year.
Yeah,
you
but-
realize that the
were they
Orioles
great?
were first in the division last year?
okay,
They were
realize
good
that-
pitchers,
And
and
they won
added a Cy Young.
62% of their games.
okay. I'm
They're
just
a
telling
100-win
you.
team.
They
and
were a good staff, and then they added Corbin Burns to it.
I just I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong
You're
on my
a
outtake
hater,
here.
bro.
What I'm sitting here telling you is, from everything I researched on this team, I feel like their fucking weakness is their pitching
Let's
staff.
try something.
If
Let's
you
try
if you
something.
had to pick a weakness, I would agree with that. If we want to,
I'm gonna say something that I don't want to say, but is factual, and then
Go ahead
you'll
and fucking
say
say
that
it.
the Orioles are good. I think that Luka Doncic has moved up to second in the MVP race.
Whoa, whoa!
Behind who?
Joker.
Hmm.
My 1,
Oh,
2,
you
3 is
dropped Shea.
Joker, Luka, Shea. It's
Yeah.
hard, dude. It's like, can you really tell me that Shea's more valuable to OKC than Joker is to Denver, or than,
I would
Doncic is
totally
to
agree
Dallas?
with you.
And so as the records kind of flesh themselves out, and as Denver is back in first place, best player on the best team is the metric. Guys averaging a triple-double, shooting like 60%. Loves horses, doesn't care about basketball, and still gives you buckets 24/7. It's crazy. The guy doesn't even lift weights or run. I guarantee it.
Yeah,
So,
for sure.
with you, he probably just eats Cheeto Puffs at home.
He's got a
plays MLB The Show.
Bowflex, and he takes care of his horses and prefers a
He has a
laborious
Bowflex that
lifestyle.
he eats his
Anyway,
Cheetos on.
so
It's the
I
mayonnaise
said
and the
my
coffee.
thing, and now you say that the Orioles are good. That's all I'm
I
asking.
will sit here and tell you, the Orioles are an above-average team. They are good. They are good.
They
Their
were
weakness
first in
is
their
their rotation.
division.
Their weakness is their rotation.
I'm gonna go ahead and just Google something. 2023 pitching stats MLB
You should probably go by team instead of just by player.
Yep. team.
Well, he's looking that up. The one team that we did not glaze today is the New York Yankees. I
We
do
will
not
not
want.
be. We will never glaze this team.
They seriously have a rotation issue. Garrett Cole injured. Stroman coming back after having a shit
Traded
second half
away
of the
Michael
season.
King for Juan Soto last year.
Yep.
Hey, guess who was 7th in like team ERA last year?
Would that be the
Baltimore.
Baltimore Orioles?
Yeah,
Okay.
only Tampa Bay in their division. Oh, Tampa Bay and Toronto were a little bit better in their division.
Oh shit! 2 teams in their division better than them, so they're not even in the fucking
Wait.
top 50%.
Can you watch your language, sir? I misspoke because I don't think that the Blue Jays. No, the Blue Jays are. in
There's
their division. I
no
was
way
like,
the Blue Jays were better.
I love
last
how I
year.
just said top 50%. There's 5 teams, and
So
3
this is looking. I have ERA selected, so I'm looking at team ERA. If we look at average, right, it changes drastically. If we look at OBP, it changes drastically, right? So there's no just strict ERA, right? Strict ERA. Baltimore was 7th. If we look at average, Baltimore was middle of the pack, like 15th.
Yeah. They had a lot of home runs.
Oh, so what you're
Well,
telling
no,
me is
sorry.
their
It's
pitching
their
staff
pitching
needs work.
stats, right? If we look at average again,
okay.
you know, so sorry, Baltimore was like 10th on average. The Blue
You're just
Jays
glazing me right now,
nowhere
and
to
I
be
love
found.
it.
Tampa
I
Bay's
don't
right
know.
here.
How is this glazing you?
Because he's just confirming exactly what I just said. Their fucking weakness is their rotation.
A top
I'm
7
not
in
agreeing
ERA
with you at
pitching
all.
staff added Corbin Burns.
Correct.
I'm not
Okay.
saying they didn't get better, but now they have to
I'm
fucking
just
prove it.
okay. That's fine. I
You
think we
also
should
don't
move
know what
on and
glazing
talk
is.
about.
Yankees. What's Rodon doing this year, guys?
Dude, I
I like
don't want to
Rodon.
talk about the dude. I hate the Yankees.
All
I
right.
don't-
Well, I just don't want to talk about the Red Sox. That's why.
That's fine. I mean, obviously, we're going to give the floor to Chase here in a second and let him tell us how it is over there in Boston. He's going to give us a play-by-play and statistical analysis on every player, how many shortstops they have, etc.
Yeah, Chase,
I
how
won't
many
do
sh-
that to you
How
guys.
many shortstops does
I
your
mean-
team have?
We don't
So-
have that many shortstops, so we're fucked.
Before we
3.
move off it, I will say my sleeper team is the Blue Jays. I don't care about the Yankees. If they could win the World Series again, and I wouldn't care about the Yankees. I think
Won't
it's
happen.
the Orioles division,
Again?
win or lose.
When was the last time they did that?
It's been a
Yeah.
while.
Sorry.
It's okay, I
I
don't-
just got to take every shot I can.
You're not offending anybody, so let's talk Boston.
We
Is-
can. I mean, they're not.
is
winning.
Oh,
Bello-
Boston,
is
bud.
Bello
Let's
that
fucking
guy?
go.
Bayo is good. He's young.
Yeah,
we
Bayo's
just signed
really
him to
good.
a 6-year, $56 million contract.
I do like
like
Bayo.
him a lot. Loved him last year.
Mhm.
He's still got a
Yeah.
lot of stuff to work on in terms of strikeouts, but he's a really good ground ball pitcher. He's really good at limiting contact. I think he needs to add a K pitch to get that like kind of like finisher, swing and miss kind of thing.
The
But
splitter
I
is
think it's
popular.
also something he could work on his changeup. Other than that, our pitching sucks. We have 2 fucking relievers starting with Tanner Hook and Garrett Whitlock, so I don't really want to address pitching at all. We
Is
fucking
it Hoop
blow.
or how?
Who cares? That's
Who
how I would
cares?
pronounce it.
I see what you did there. Hook, Hauk,
Yeah.
What? I was just
Um,
asking because, like, oh, never mind. That's
They would, dude. Garrett Whitlock and Tanner Hook would be great relief pitchers, but if you're starting those fuckers, like, what are we doing here? Like, I think the offense is really fun. Keep an eye out for Zidane Rafaela. I think he could steal 30 bags pretty fucking easily this year. Same with Jaron Duran, my dog. Jaron Duran, if you ever listen to this, please come on the pod. Let's become best friends, please. I
Hell
want-
yeah.
Jaron Duran is my guy. I've been rooting for you for years, buddy. I'm really glad you made it. But yeah, Tristan Casas, I love you. Devers, I love you. I love this team, but we're not going to win anything.
Devers,
We're fine.
ever since
What do you
ever
feel?
since
How do you
Chase
feel
started talking
about
about you,
Yoshida?
See, he's interesting because he really fell off at the end of last year, and I think he's got an issue with conditioning. So, would really like to see how he plays after the All-Star break this year because he was really, really good. And then, honestly, we were talking about trading him at the end of last season. So.
Yeah, no, I was just curious because I mean he's the only DH, the only DH you guys have, and like I just wanted to see how you felt as a fan about him. I know he's been up and down; it's been rocky.
I personally like him. A lot of Red Sox Nation is not a big fan, but
no, that's fair. I mean,
Trevor Story
I think polarization's good for a player. Prior to me asking you that, I cut our boy Money off. What were you finna say?
I forgot.
Dang, I held that thought for way too long. That's what I get for trying to be polite.
Oh, I was. I think I was dropping some little glizzy glaze there on Devers when you cut me off.
I will pay.
Oh you, yeah, let's hear the glizzy glaze on my boy. I've been waiting for this.
I will pay you $100 right now, Money, to never use that term again. I
purposely use all these fucking terms wrong because
I think we should make it a segment, the glizzy glaze of the week.
And you gotta do one of these little things, glizzy glaze.
Look, glizzy glaze of the week, dude.
Glizzy glaze. Anyway,
that's you have to eat a whole chili dog on pod.
We can
do that too, dude. I'm fucking hungry.
Chili dog.
One bite.
But yeah, let's hear it. I want to hear it. I've been waiting for this.
I've been wrong a couple of times in my sports analogies, and my sports analysis. I did some research on our boy Rafael Devers. I still don't think he is a superstar. I do think he's on his way to stardom. I think he's what? I think he's a great.
You butter me up like that, and then you just
okay. But what was my original opinion of this guy? Go ahead.
Nobody knows.
Your original opinion is he's not a superstar. He's an offensive star.
No. My original opinion was he will never be a superstar. His defense sucks ass, right? His defense the last couple of
analysis. I'm blown away.
His defense the last 2 years have been on the upward trend, like they are going up.
Why can you just never appreciate somebody or something for being good? You don't like the Orioles. You hate Lamar Jackson. You're out here finding statistical analysis
and he's
to
like,
break
hey,
down
this one
guy best players in
only
baseball.
Good player on his team. Fuck that guy.
I want you every week to just find the best player you can figure out and just break them down. Tell me why they're actually not good.
How about you start with Luka, bud?
I did.
No, you didn't.
What are you talking about? He put Luka at number 2 in the MVP conversation, which he wasn't even willing to do a week ago.
I know. So. What I'm saying is I wanted to break it down why he's not good.
He doesn't think he's not good.
I'm not even going to respond to any of this with any articulate response. What I have to say to you, sir, is si se puede.
No, but on a serious note, though, Devers, he's grown on me. I'm liking the way he plays. Maybe next year I'll call him a superstar.
Maybe a superstar.
We'll see. Hold that thought.
Journey's out.
On that note, while we're covering baseball, Rookie of the Year candidates, seems how we've kind of gone through all the divisions.
Wyatt Langford and Jackson Chourio.
What you got? Who you got?
Wyatt Langford in the AL, Jackson Chourio in the NL.
See, I got Wyatt Langford in the AL. You're gonna not like my NL pick. He's probably
from the Giants.
No, it's Jackson Merrill, dude. I got Jackson Merrill. Patty's picking Jung Ho Lee or Young Ho Lee.
Fucking know it, bro.
Dude.
If you fucking
the
know
Korean
it.
Killer, dude.
If you don't have belief in my team, believe in how much belief I have in my team.
So here's the thing about the Giants, though, is they do have like 2 or 3 people that could potentially, at least 2. They've got Lee, they've got Kyle Harrison for rookie season. They've got
Kyle Harrison still rookie eligible?
He's rookie eligible.
Really?
Yeah, he only pitched like a quarter of the season last year.
Not even Posey scenarios. We're just gonna let it happen, okay?
Yeah, he's gonna be a rookie for like 4 years.
He could be a sleeper. He's definitely someone that could push it out.
Chet Holmgren's a rookie.
Everybody's talking Yamamoto or Shota. So, who knows?
Yeah, I don't really like to consider those guys rookies. They've been playing fucking professional Japanese ball. Put some respect on that name.
Yeah,
that league is up there.
There's
why these guys come over and dominate.
There's
So
actually another rookie who's still considered rookie eligible this year, also on the Texans the Texas Rangers, that could potentially bust out and push for Langford's spot, and that's Evan Carter. I don't know if you guys watched him at the.
he's not rookie eligible.
He is.
No, he is not.
He is 100% rookie eligible.
I gotta cross-reference this. Really? You only bat? Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll admit
I'm
I was
gonna go ahead
wrong.
and throw this name out there too, because when I did the research, I kind of like the guy. I watched some tape on him, and him and I share the same first name. Parker Meadows plays for Detroit. I see him coming on. He's an outfielder. Parker, from one Parker to another, come check us out. Come hang out on the pod. Let's chat. And good luck on Rookie of the Year. And yeah,
Pat, who you got?
Rookie of the year?
ALNL.
Ooh, AL, that's going to be a tough one. Give me 1 sec. So obviously NL, I picked our boy off the Giants outfielder, the Korean killer. For the
Yeah, his
AL,
name, dude.
Ooh,
So I don't
AL,
know how
bro.
you say his
AL.
nickname.
I think it's gonna be Jackson Holiday. I think the Orioles are gonna call him up and he's gonna fucking tear it up.
He'll
I know
be
it's
up
a
in 2
bold
weeks,
pick.
dude. No, that's
Yeah.
good. That's a good pick. I like
I
that.
feel like sorry, I knew I
Yeah.
had somebody. I just had to refer to my notes real quick because I
Yeah.
was busy Googling actually last year's voting results because I was gonna ask about Cy Young and MVP. So first
Yes,
for
dude.
Cy
That's what I
Young,
wanted to do too. Yes. Cy
and
Young
I'll
first.
start off. I'm gonna be bold.
Yeah.
NL Logan Webb, second place in votes last year. He's looking really good. He threw a 2-seamer yesterday that had 20 inches of movement. He's looking
Can you send me
crispy,
that?
bro. Yeah, I'll find it on Twitter.
I love
And
myself
then
a two-seamer.
AL, man, who won last year? It was Garrett Cole. And then the NL Blake Snell won. So Garrett Cole, man, that's tough, man. Maybe I'll pull a money over here. And I will pick our boy. No, I can't go Kevin Gosman. I can't go Kevin
Ooh,
Gosman.
I would have liked Gauze. I forgot.
I mean-
Gauze is up in Toronto, isn't he?
that's
Yeah.
why. Yeah,
That's who we were forgetting in Toronto. I'm sorry.
No. You watch us later. You're gonna
I
hear me
forgot
mention.
that.
You're gonna hear me
I mean,
mention Kevin
Pablo
Gosman.
Lopez
Just glazed
could be-
I
over.
love Kevin Gosman.
So it's like, for me, it's a toss-up. If I'm pitching the three, it's like Pablo Lopez, Corbin Burns, Gosman in the AL. For
Yeah.
the NL, I'm all in on Webby, bro. I got a picture with the dude at Disneyland. I love
That's
him
pretty
from the
sick,
bottom
yeah.
of my heart.
That's
I'm
awesome.
a Giants diehard fan. I'm wearing Mickey Mouse sunglasses. It's sick.
Bussin'.
I,
That
so
picture will be posted in this video, hopefully, if I
Okay.
can find it. Yeah.
AL?
I'm not saying that
Man,
he didn't
dude.
have a complete game shutout before we shook hands, but he had one after.
Cy Young's so hard to guess.
It is. Injuries with
It's so
pitchers just
hard.
wild,
I think
too.
Corbin Burns could be fun. Oh man, AL is so hard. Oh,
I like
I got it.
Corbin Burns.
I got it. All my picks are gonna be dark horses.
Ooh.
Cole Reagans. We didn't talk about him with KC. He's a
Cole
5-pitch
Reagans.
pitcher.
Okay,
Cole Reagans is
alright.
disgusting. I love him.
He's got some
I
nasty
fucked up
drop.
and I let him go in fantasy baseball. Connor, I know you didn't let me switch my keepers at the very last second because you wanted him and you motherfucker, you got him. But I love Cole Reagans. And the NL,
Okay.
I mean, my gut's telling me it's going to be Spencer Strider again. The dude is fucking disgusting.
It could be.
but
Blake Snell won it last year, right?
Yeah, Blake Snell last
I
year.
hate Blake Snell. I
And he's
don't-
now in a
Strider was like third
pitcher-friendly
or
I
fourth.
park.
kind of like the
voting.
Logan Webb pick, to be honest. I'm a big Logan Webb fan myself, even
Dude,
though
if-
I've been anti-Giants on this podcast.
If Blake Snell doesn't
That's
just
true.
lock it down,
I
like
kind of want to ride Snell, though. Let's just ride Snell. Or not Snell,
That'd
I mean,
be-
we're riding the Webb, dude. Spider-Man.
Yeah.
all right. Well, here we go, guys.
Sorry, you said Snell, and I just got snelled off, dude.
You did. You just snelled all over the place.
I'm smelling what you're stepping in.
That's some Snell gel, dude. Just all over
Dude.
the fucking.
I just want to say, as a fantasy baseball player, if you've ever had Blake Snell, you're with me here. Fuck that guy. He
Let me
sucks.
just tell you, bro,
But, I
that is
mean,
some
good for him.
country grammar with Mr. Snelly here.
All right, guys. So I'm torn on who I want to pick for the American League.
Now I got it in my head, bro.
I've got two. I've got George Kirby,
Ooh, yeah, with curbs, dude.
but I also really like Luis Castillo.
Why
That's
are you
fair.
blazing off the Mariner? Nah, dude.
I love both
Give
those
the
guys. I'm
Mariners so
sorry.
much love.
I'm sorry, bro. I'm gonna take George Kirby as a dark horse pick. I know you got Corbin Burns there. Um, yeah.
I like curbs. That's a good one. I forgot about Kirby when I was thinking about it.
I'm gonna take
You know,
Curbs.
while we're on the subject too, just to add to the Baltimore's good point, they had 2 people in top 10 of Cy Young voting last year.
Uh-oh.
Felix Bautista and Kyle Bradish. So
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
I don't want to talk about it. Statistically, that's their weak spot. We're over it.
and they have because
Top 70 in ERA, statistically a weak spot.
before we move on to my next question, you got your picks in?
No, I still owe you an NL.
Okay, that's what I was asking.
Oh.
You're just running around the bush, just beating it.
So there's a couple people. Zach Wheeler, one of my favorites here. But I honestly
pick.
am going to go right with you guys. Stay right in line. I like Logan Webb as a.
Right in the web, dude.
Yep.
Spider-Man,
Hoping that we
baby.
wouldn't go 3 for 3 on that pick.
Okay, I'll switch it up. I'm going to switch it up from
No.
Zach Wheeler too. Then.
No, we ride. This is a Logan Webb podcast now.
All right.
Logan Webb country, let's ride.
Yeah.
Logan, if you're listening to this, bud, we took a picture with you at Disneyland. We were hammered
Go,
on.
Webb, go!
We were hammered.
Mr. Unlimited.
Oh, God.
We were drunker than drunk. We were walking around with a bottle of tequila, just chugging it. Out of the
Holy
water.
dry snitch, bro.
What?
No Diddy.
I offered it to him. I said, "Hey, Logan, this is tequila. Do you want some?" He said no.
When you say it like that, I definitely should have bought something a lot nicer, but
Yeah, it's Casadores, dude. I'm sure he would probably be someone that would appreciate it any other time, except for the day before he's got to go to a game and it's 100 degrees at Disneyland. But anyway, Webby, we're here. You want to chat? Come on the pod, man. Let us know. We'll be here.
Okay.
With that being said, MLB MVP, and then we'll finish it there. So, Iceman, you started,
ALNO?
yeah, you started first last time. Let's hear it. ALNL.
all right.
Okay.
Okay. Just to be consistent with myself, I think that Adley Rutschman has a chance for
You would pick a fucking Oriole.
hey. But
It's
I
not,
also
if it's
think,
going to be an Oriole, it's not going to be.
well, and I also think though, I don't know, man. I can see a universe where it happens. Maybe Gunnar Henderson off the same team. I know he's a favorite and he got a lot of
Let's
votes
go,
last year.
Gunner Gang.
Realistically though, who am I thinking, man? Who am I? Why can I not remember his name?
Do you want me to give you some time? I got my picks in.
Julio Rodriguez. Sorry, Julio Rodriguez.
Yeah.
He had a 30-30 season, Gold Glove caliber defense last year. Man, what was it? A 941 OPS in the second half of the season. So like coming off a crispy season, if he can build on that, he has a really good chance. As for the NL, I think Acuna could go back to back. Corbin Carroll over in Arizona, which is insane, but he was getting MVP votes last year. Mookie Betts has a chance to go for it. I mean, he's just an incredibly talented, diverse
If he's
player.
healthy, he's always got
Yeah,
a
yeah.
chance.
Bellinger out in Chicago, I could see a universe with that. Luis Arias. There's just so many good players.
on that list, brother.
Arias is not. Take his name out of that list. That was
fuck.
disrespectful to everybody else.
You just sounded terrible right there.
Sixth and seventh.
And that's coming from the Arias homer in Parker,
Bro.
dude. He's the big
I went
Arias
out-
guy.
It was
I went
8th
out
in
last
MVP
year.
voting last year.
8th. Okay,
He shouldn't have been.
he should not have been. He was only there because of his batting average.
Yep.
Okay. I mean, but honestly, if we're being real, it's Mookie and Ronald Acuna Jr. for me. After that, maybe Corbin Carroll. Those are my top 3, and I'll stick with those because obviously I start to think outside the box, and everybody's like, Luka's great.
In the AL, I'm gonna have 2 AL MVPs because I have to pick one from the Red Sox.
Fair. Devers.
I love Devers, but I'm actually gonna do something shocking. I think the Tristan Casas, and I want to give him some love.
Are you spitballing?
No, I'm not spitballing at all. I think that Tristan Casas has a legitimate shot to be an AL MVP. I know I sound fucking crazy right now, but when he has a 500 or 450 OBP, batting 300 and 30 home runs, and the Red Sox make the playoffs. They won't, but if this happens, I'll look like a fucking genius.
And if it doesn't, we're gonna
who
clip
cares?
this.
Yeah, sure, that's fine. Clip it.
Clip for the chip, baby.
I love him, and I think he's got a lot of Juan Soto's play discipline. We're going to see it this year. So,
You know what's funny is Juan
Just looking
Soto's actually pretty high in the betting odds right now, which is
Yeah.
pretty wild to me.
it's a style of play that
Defense is-
gets you high in voting. But
Yeah.
my serious pick is Bobby Witt Jr. I think that he
Ooh,
has
really?
30-30 potential, and we could see 50 stolen bases
That's
out of him
fair.
this year. So,
And that's kind of why I picked Luis Garcia or whatever.
yeah. In the NL, it's probably going to be Acuna.
Yeah,
How do you compete with that dude? It's just fucking stupid.
I'm not going to sit here and argue with Acuna. I'm really not. What is going on here? My screen just.
I guess
decided-
we're a Ronald Acuna podcast, huh?
Yeah,
Yep.
we can do that. What's
I
going
don't
on
mind,
here?
bro. The Braves are sick.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, they're out in Atlanta. Who doesn't like Atlanta? They're some of my coworkers and friends' favorite team. Probably
One of my
second
favorite rappers
team.
is from
It's
Atlanta.
like Giants,
Andre
Braves,
2000.
Blue Jays. Hell, I'll even start rooting for the Red Sox just because they need Jesus out there.
Yeah, that's
Not
fair.
saying I'm Jesus.
But we do need Jesus.
So in the
And
NL,
anybody
Just never
else.
see both of us in the same room.
I can't argue with Acuna.
Who you got for the AL?
I'm kind of torn. I'm actually trying to figure that out right now. So you're not going to like either of my picks.
Ugh,
So
you're
I'm
picking
right now.
Yankees, you disgusting piece of
I'm
shit.
not actually. Believe
Okay,
it or not.
good. We're cool. We're friends still.
I'm kind of torn between Adolis Garcia and you're not going to like this name, but Royce Lewis.
No.
I
like Royce Lewis. I don't think he's an AL
So
MVP.
I'm not going off of traditional lists here where they've got these guys ranked like this, right? Because in the AL, if you're looking at who you want and stuff like that, I mean, you got Aaron Judge on that list. You got Corey Seager.
Seager could
Julio
make
Rodriguez.
Seager,
Rodriguez.
thank you for bringing Seager back up.
You've got Julio Rodriguez, right?
Disrespect on last year's MVP.
Right. I'm not
True.
going to sit there and do that. I'm picking off of a couple of like dark horse ideas here. Just some research that I did too, though. Like Royce Lewis is great, and Adolis Garcia, his power is undeniable. He could be one of those people that's hitting home runs like Judge, and so I'm not going to sit here and say that they're going to be the MVP. They're just my dark horse picks. Probably more in the way of Lewis than Garcia. But if Garcia can get that power and actually find that plate discipline and start hitting home runs like Judge does and stuff like that, and to pair that with Corey Seager on that team, I think there's a lot of RBI potential there along with that, and that could potentially make him the one of the favorites.
That's fair.
So for me, that's kind of like where I sit MVP wise. Do I think it's going to be either of those two? No, I think it's probably going to be Julio Rodriguez or Corey Seager, maybe a repeat.
Well, and so here's the reality of the situation. It's whoever has the best offensive season will win it, because it's not like
that's
other
fucking
sports.
stupid.
Killer analysis.
Yeah, just
Well,
great.
No, but I know what you're getting at.
Well, so like Ohtani won it last year, right?
Yeah.
420 points. I like to point that out anytime that number comes up. I don't know. It's just a weird number. It's cool.
They have Ohtani
Anyway.
rated number 3 on the list. It's just a designated hitter. Like, what
Yeah,
the fuck?
and it's possible, man, because like I said, who has the best offensive season? Now, he pitched quite a bit last year too and was really good at it. So it's the combo factor. We're looking at like, wow, this guy he's the most valuable player. If without him, the Angels literally would have ceased to exist. Mike Trout would have been shipped to the Yankees. Something along those lines. But, it's just, and so what I mean by that is like, it doesn't matter where this person necessarily finishes in the records, right? Like, it's not like, unless they're dismal, but you're not going to be super dismal winning 50, 60 games and pushing those numbers, because it's just not the way baseball works. You kind of need that supporting cast and other bats in your lineup to have that statistically amazing season. So what I mean by that, it's like, you got to look at who's poised to kind of, have that like 50, basically 45, 50 home run, 120, 130 RBI, and stolen bases season.
I was gonna say, if they can steal 30 bags with all that, Anybody who can't steal bags is out of the conversation.
I guess 30 is probably actually the number. Like, we don't want 40-something home runs, being a standard. That's just an incredible number. It takes away from what that actually means statistically.
Well, yeah, and there's so many guys that sell out on power. We don't want to reward those fuckers.
Yeah,
by
no, I
giving
don't want to
them
see
Right.
40 home runs and you're batting 220 with 145
I'm Kyle
strikeouts.
Schwarber.
Wow.
Sorry, Schwarber, we love you.
That's an odd sneeze.
So
Yeah.
I know we've been talking about a lot of offensive players for these MVP spots and stuff like that. You guys want to hear my real dark horse pitcher MVP? You guys ready for this?
I'm worried.
Are you actually worried?
I'm worried what might come out of that
Oh,
brain.
actually, you know what? No, I'm not going to go pitcher. My real dark horse though, Riley Green. He's even deeper. Yeah, coming off injury.
That was deep. I like Riley Green though.
I wanted to
even
go
know who
pitcher there.
Who
I
is
wanted to go
that?
pitcher, but I was like Cy Young.
He
dude,
was
I'm not
at one
gonna
point
fuck with it.
the number one prospect in baseball.
Yeah, he fractured his tibia, got a couple injuries.
One
and
of
everything.
those
Yeah,
every year,
Yeah,
like a
he
birthday.
was on pace for a 25-25 season last year, so
yeah, I think he
and
fractured.
he's a big dude. Like he could put on more power, a lot more power.
Did he
He's
have
got
Tommy
it.
Johns too?
He's got
No,
an
no,
average.
no.
Yeah, he had Tommy
Hit for
John
average,
surgery
he's gotta hit for home runs,
mid-September.
he's gotta hit for
Riley
RBI.
Green?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah.
Interesting.
He missed June with a fractured left tibia and then had Tommy John surgery in mid-September.
My biggest dark horse, though, is Seiya Suzuki. I mean, just knowing what I know about his, last third of last season, having incredibly high OPS, being
That's
able
actually
to
not a
swing
bad-
this.
I mean, if he can
And he's
maintain
playing
it,
for
it's
the
not a bad
Cubs,
one.
so if
but-
the Cubs really overperform, I mean, Bellinger's going to take a lot of attention. If his swing stays fixed as it has through last season, I really think, I don't know, watch out for them Cubs, bro.
Yeah.
I don't know. Central's wide open. I think
Yeah,
they
dude,
could.
the Cubbies, bro.
And so,
Yeah.
if either of those dudes have a
Are you
crazy
talking yourself
season,
into Cubs, changing it to the Cubs for the NL Central pick?
they're just so harmless. You just know something's cursed about them.
Oh, shut
Not
up.
anymore.
Oh,
Yeah, they got their one, brother. It's like Spider-Man saving you from a falling building. Everybody gets one.
I blame Chris Bryant.
Which one? Because we got Crush Chris Bryant, and then we got that pretty boy.
That was Chris Davis.
Chris Bryant, the one that went from
See,
the
that's
Cubs
how
to the
much I know.
Giants. Yeah. Anyway,
Was Crush Davis? Was he an Oriole?
Yeah, dude, Crush Davis
Davis,
was the
yeah.
one. He was the one who
Yeah,
hit.
yeah.
I think he hit 50 bombs, and then Scott Boras got him the bag, and then immediately just forgot how to
Yep.
hit a baseball.
okay,
Perfect.
And now that you just brought up the Boris name, dude, we got to talk about that another day.
Yeah, let's shit on Scott Boras. Fuck yeah, dude.
I want a whole podcast just to shit on this guy. This guy could have got his boys so much fucking money, and then he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna play the market out," and then it fucked all of his boys, dude.
Or got him on better teams.
Yeah, fuck, man. Anyway, not going into that. Boris podcast coming soon.
Yeah.
We're hitting an hour 20 minutes. This ABA podcast. I'll be hitting, maybe a couple of, I don't know, home runs or something. I don't know where I'm going with that. Patty, take us out of here. Get us out of here.
Love you guys.
Well, in typical baseball fashion, we're going to lace them up and line up for some free throws on the 3-yard line, pass it off to Frank Gore, and get the F out of here. Thank you for listening to our baseball analysis.
Jim Harbaugh coaching this podcast.
ABA
I got
podcast.
some
We'll catch
new
you next time.
khakis coming next week, and I don't mean the Boston kind.
We all know you're not wearing pants, but
I never do.